Mirror, mirror in my hand, who's the baddest in the land?
Hey, smart people. Look, everybody struggles with self-discipline. Everybody. In this video, I'm going to teach you a powerful technique to program your mind to have more self-control. Self-discipline is king. You need to make yourself do what needs to be done, whether or not you're in the mood, no matter what the obstacles are. But that's obviously a lot easier said than done. There are a ton of books, YouTube videos, and blog posts, all dedicated to ways you can improve your self-discipline. Unfortunately, most of them just give you a bunch of philosophy or a list of rules to follow. They attempt to be motivational. Few, if any, give you any sort of practical method to reset your brain so you can get yourself to do what you know you need to do. This is different. Here, I'm going to give you a mechanical process. This is a physical exercise. It's called the mirror technique. At one time or another, almost everybody has given themselves a good talking to in the mirror. But what I'm going to show you gives you a powerful way to supercharge your results. I mentioned the mirror technique briefly in one of my older videos called Get in the Mood to Study: How to Become a Motivated Student. As a result, I received many comments and questions about it, even though I barely touched on the true power of this amazing method. You're going to learn exactly why it works and also the very best ways to use it in order to enjoy maximum benefit. By the way, if you like what I'm doing on this channel, please be sure to subscribe with notifications enabled so you don't miss any of my content. Let me ask, if self-discipline is so critically important to your success in any area, then why do we so often engage in self-sabotage? Here's why. No matter what you tell your conscious mind, no matter how good your intentions are, it's your subconscious that's really in control. You've likely seen it illustrated with the example of an iceberg. Your subconscious mind is vastly greater than you might first realize. It is many times the size and power of your conscious mind. That's why we need effective ways to contact it and then give it the right instructions. Otherwise, it'll just continue to run amok and do what it's been doing. Now, the mirror technique is not the only way of programming your subconscious. In fact, it's the one that's taught the least. The other ways of doing it are to use meditation and hypnosis. Many of the great trainers teach various forms of meditation, and yes, it is absolutely effective and can deliver extraordinary results. However, it's not easy. It takes up a significant amount of time. You need to be still and quiet during your busy day. Even then, there's no guarantee that you'll be able to silence your mind very well. Meditation also takes practice to get good at it. It's not something you do it a couple of times and you become an expert. In fact, it takes quite a bit of self-discipline to practice meditation effectively. And that's kind of like a which came first, the chicken or the egg type situation. You want to use meditation to develop self-discipline, but it takes self-discipline to become good at meditation. A second way to connect with your subconscious mind is to use some form of hypnosis. Other than going to a hypnotist, there are self-hypnosis techniques that are taught in books, like Maxwell Maltz's masterpiece, Psycho-Cybernetics, and Hypno-Cybernetics, written by Sidney Petrie. My personal favorite is the Silva mind control method, which has to do with controlling your own mind, not someone else's. I attended a good number of the Silva method training seminars back in the 70s, and receive tremendous personal benefit from them. Okay, all that's great, but I've got a much faster and simpler technique for you. This does not take much practice. It's something you don't need an hour a day for. In fact, it only takes about 3 to 5 minutes. You don't have to be somewhere totally quiet, and you can use this technique just about anywhere. You also don't need someone to assist you, as with either a guided meditation or working with a hypnotist. Like I said earlier, it's called the mirror technique. The only equipment you need is a mirror. All you need to do is look yourself directly in the eye using a mirror and talk to yourself. You'll give yourself very specific instructions out loud. In order to get the maximum benefit from this rarely taught technique, I've also marked this video with the time codes in the video description below so you can jump to any of these topics when you need to review them. There are 4 things you need to know. Number 1, why does this technique work? Number 2, how to make effective mental programming instructions. Number 3, does it matter which eye you look at? And number 4, what are the best times of the day to do this technique? So first, why does this work? Well, here's something you don't need me to tell you. You and everyone else already instinctively knows this is true. When you're with another person, there's something special about looking them directly in the eyes. It makes your communication that much deeper. Think about the opposite for a moment. How do you feel about talking to someone who won't look you in the eye? Right? The connection for communicating effectively gets broken. There are many quotes that help illustrate the importance of looking into someone's eyes. William Shakespeare famously wrote, "The eyes are the windows to your soul." Paulo Coelho, international best-selling author of The Alchemist, wrote, "Your eyes show the strength of your soul." The famed expressionist painter Paul Klee stated, "One eye sees, the other feels." And legendary basketball star Michael Jordan said, "The best evaluation I can make of a player is to look in his eyes and see how scared they are." Yes, looking into someone else's eyes is telling, but looking into your own eyes delivers even greater benefits. The mirror technique has you looking deeply into your own eyes. It gives you the ability to communicate with a deeper part of yourself. You're able to talk directly to your subconscious and then give it the deliberate programming you want. Here's how to make effective programming instructions. Now, understand this. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between truth and fiction. It only follows the instructions that are currently running in there, whether they're true or not. Your subconscious mind also can't tell time. It doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future. It only knows now. Therefore, when you create the written instructions that you'll recite to yourself, you must state things as you want them to be and phrase them as if that is already the truth. Here are some of my best tips for writing out your mental programs. There's a formula called SMART goals. That means a goal must be specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic, and have a time deadline. For example, you can't say you want to have more money because picking up 1 penny from the ground would meet that qualification. You must say something like, "I have an annual income of $250,000 now." Or, if you want to lose weight, you need to express it something like this: "I weigh 155 pounds and am continuing to live at my ideal weight." Those statements are specific. The outcome is measurable, the goals are achievable and realistic, and you have a deadline. You'll also need to add your action, self-discipline goals. I work hard in an organized way every day to achieve my financial goals. Or, I exercise without fail for 30 minutes a day. I eat good, nutritious foods daily and am easily able to resist eating sweets that add unnecessary calories. As a student, you might have the goal of achieving the Dean's List. So you might say, each semester I achieve A's and B's in every one of my classes and am always on the Dean's List. Add your action steps. I always do my schoolwork on time and never procrastinate. I enjoy studying. Learning new information comes easily to me. I retain what I learn effortlessly. Write out your goals in this manner. Be sure they are stated in the present tense as if this is how you already are now and not how you're going to be someday. If you use index cards, you can put one or more set of instructions on each one. Read the card and then recite what you just read into the mirror while looking yourself deeply in the eye. And yes, I know you might feel foolish when you first start doing this. So what? Do it anyway. Which eye should you look at? You'll notice that when you get close to the mirror, you'll be unable to actually stare into both of your eyes at the same time. Your gaze will go from one eye to the other. You may find it helpful to primarily gaze into your left eye, as that will connect to the right side of your brain, which is primarily responsible for creative, imaginative thoughts. You'll find it helpful to picture the things you're saying in your imagination as you state them out loud. Best times of the day to do this. There are 2 times a day when you're most likely to enjoy the strongest results. First is right before you go to bed. This way, you get to sleep on those ideas. The other is right after you wake up. At both times, it's likely you'll be a little sleepy. That's helpful because you'll want your brain waves to be in or near the alpha state when you're doing your programming. Of course, you can do it at any time, wherever you might be. You might use the rear view mirror in your car or a small makeup mirror. Just be sure to give yourself some privacy so you won't have to worry about feeling embarrassed by having others witness what you're doing. You want to perform your exercises without distractions, using your complete focus. In the comments below, write out one set of programming instructions to give to yourself. I'll do my best to read them and give you any suggestions for improvement whenever possible. Put yourself on the line. Tell us in what ways you want to increase your self-discipline. Also, post your comments about whether you'd like me to deliver more of this type of content or any other suggestions you might have about topics you'd like me to cover. As always, this is your favorite Uncle Matt, reminding you that everything I teach takes a bit of work and effort, but it's worth it. Always remember that the fastest way to get to the top is to get off your bottom. I will look forward to reading your comments and having you join me on my other videos soon.